ما نساويه اصرخ واهتفال الظالم على العدالة ما نساويه شد العزيمة بالصبر وازرع نصرك لو بالقبر وبكرة نسلك يحيي النصروني.
Ikiwa ni 41 dakika zimesha katika baada ya saa 2 saa hizi ni za Afrika ya Mashariki, msikilizaji, na kama nilivyokuahidi hapo awali ya kwamba itakapowadia mwendo wa saa 2:30 tutakuwa na mgeni katika kipindi Dau la Iqra, na tayari kesha wasili mgeni wetu leo hii. Tunaye hapa Musharraf balozi wa Iran al-Musharraf Daktari Ali Ghulampur, ambaye tayari ameshawasili na yupo nasi hapa hivi sasa kwa ajili ya kuzungumza nasi na kuweza kubadilishana mawazo, pia kutujuza mahusiano ya mataifa haya mawili, kwa sababu anaiwakilisha Iran katika taifa hili la Kenya. Na moja kwa moja basi tunaanza na kumkaribisha mgeni wetu asubuhi hii ya leo, nikiwa hapa mtu mzima Omar Abud, naye Simbajike Baharia.
Ramla Abdi. Mpenzi msikilizaji popote pale ulipo, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear listeners, a very good morning. You're tuned to 95.0 Iqra FM, and this morning, alhamdulillah, we are deeply honored to welcome a distinguished guest to our studios, His Excellency the Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran to Kenya, Dr. Ali Ghulampur. I hope I said that right. And he's also in the presence of also Cultural Ambassador Dr. Ali Purmarjan. Thank you so much for making time to the studios this morning. Before we begin, we wish to extend, of course, our deepest condolence and heartfelt solidarity to the people of Iran following the recent tragic events, including the loss of innocent lives and also the destruction caused by the Israeli attacks for almost 2 weeks. And we stand with the families who are grieving and the nation that is mourning. May Allah grant the martyrs Jannatul Firdaus and bring peace to the affected as well. Today's conversation comes at a critical time, not just for the Iran and the Middle East, but also for the entire Muslim Ummah. And we will explore 3 important areas, that is the evolving and strategic bilateral relations between Iran and Kenya, Iran's perspective on the unfolding situation in the Middle East, including the Palestinian cause, Omar Abud, and the pressing call for unity among Muslims worldwide. Your Excellency, we are sincerely thankful for joining us this morning and taking your time to be with us in the studios. Thank you so much, and karibu sana to 95.0 Iqra FM. Just before we go into our main theme today, allow us to begin by asking what is the current situation in Iran following the recent Israeli attacks, and how is the nation generally coping with the aftermath?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to all your listeners and esteemed viewers and listeners and the audience, and to all the great people of Kenya. Thank you for having me here in your very good, lovely program this morning. And I wish all the success for you and the Radio Iqra. As just in response to the question that you posed in regard to the situation in Iran now, you know, as you mentioned, after the act of aggression by the Zionist regime of Israel and the United States against my country, which was almost against and in violation, grave violation of international law, international norms and principles, we came to a state of ceasefire. It is not a truce because there is no kind of agreement between two sides, but you know, the attacks now is stopped, and the situation, alhamdulillah, in my country now is very stable. People doing their daily business. Of course, as you mentioned, those families who have lost their, beloved relatives, the members of their families, almost mainly from the civilians and innocent people. They are mourning still. They are, at shock because it was very surprised by this act of aggression, in heinous act of aggression. However, my government is always has said that we are completely ready to resolve and address all the differences, all the disputes in a peaceful manner by sitting at the negotiation table. However, in the meantime, our military forces are very determined and ready to, again, if the enemy, the Zionist regime or the United States take any wrong miscalculation and again take an aggression against my country, they will very determined to respond even stronger and more decisive. So that's the situation now. People, Iran is a big country, enough stable, and of course nowadays there are some sort of economic challenges in terms of, and that's because of the all these sanction regimes which has been imposed on my country and my nation. But alhamdulillah, now it's fine. We are hoping that they will not again to take such a wrong act of aggression and just to come and sit and resolve all the issues in a peaceful manner. However, my government has promised, and this is a decision by authorities and my government, that they will follow and sue in its appropriate manner, from international legal mechanisms or any other peaceful mechanisms for the compensation and also for the condemnation of all these destruction that happened, all the lives that we have lost, and so bring back all the compensation to the people. That's the situation.
Msikilizaji, ni kwamba kwa mujibu wa balozi wa Iran Daktari Ali Ghulampuri ni kwamba mashambulizi hivi sasa, mashambuliano baina yao na Israel na Amerika yamesitishwa, japo kwamba si rasmi ya kwamba kuna makubaliano yote rasmi ya kusitisha mapigano hayo, na anasema kwamba taifa la Iran hivi sasa limejiandaa na liko tayari kwa upande wa jeshi na hata wananchi, ya kwamba iwepo mchokozi yoyote mwingine atafanya uchokozi, awe ni Muamerika ama ni Muisraeli, basi watajibu kwa majibu ambayo hawatoamini wao wala jamii nzima ya kimataifa. Na hali nchini Iran, anasema hivi sasa imerudi ya kawaida, shughuli zinaendelea kama kawaida, wananchi pia wako katika hali ya utulivu na maisha yao yanaendelea kama ilivyokuwa hapo awali, kabla ya makabiliano hayo makali sana ambayo yalizuka baina yao na taifa lile la Israel, ambapo ni taifa linalotambulika kwa ushari na uchokozi. Lakini tunapoendelea hivi sasa, Your Excellency, what has been the response from the international community? Has they shown enough support at this critical time?
Yeah, that's a good question. Just in the aftermath of those heinous inhuman attacks and aggression against my country and my people, too many countries and international organizations and civil society peoples around the world, they supported Iran and condemned very seriously and in a strong term the aggression by the Zionist regime of Israel and the U.S. And I just bring you some examples. Almost more than 120 countries and governments, they condemned, publicly, and they, stated their position in against such an act. And also many international organizations, regional and international organizations, OIC issued very strong in their meeting in Istanbul in Turkey. They issued a very strong statement of support for Iran and also condemned all the aggression. Also the Persian Gulf Council, we call it JCC, the Arab Countries of Persian Gulf Council, also they condemned it very strongly. Non-aligned movement organization, Shanghai organization, BRICS organization. So there are many organizations, international and regional organizations, they condemned. And it shows that the policy for isolation, to isolate Iran, has not been successful. They failed, and the reason is because this act of aggression was a blatant violation and breach of international law. You know, in the Charter of the United Nations, we do have two very important and basic principles that are making the foundation of the Charter and the new international political system, which is first, each and every country is prohibited from using force or threatening to use force against another member country. But this is something that exactly the US and the Israeli regime, they just breached it. And again, another important and basic principle is to resolve any dispute, any issue, but through peaceful means. And the mechanism has been, envisaged in the same Charter of the United Nations. And the only exception that member states are permitted to use force in self-defense under Article 51 of the United Nations Charter. And Iran, what did Iran in response and in defending itself? It was a self-defense in accordance with that article of the UN Charter, which is Article 51. So we were attacked by an act of aggression, and we responded in self-defense. So we exercised that right. And again, of course, we will continue defending ourselves if we are going to be attacked again.
His Excellency, kindly allow me to maybe transition a bit to the Middle East politics after that, because of course the world today is deeply interconnected, and what happens in one region can definitely affect every other region in the world in general. So maybe if we can discuss the wider Middle East situation. Tensions across the Middle East have escalated, of course, especially involving Israel and Palestine as well. And it's a subject that we cannot shy away from or turn a blind eye, of course. So from Iran's perspective, what are the key drivers of instability in the region today?
Exactly. For all these things that happening, the invasions, attacks, aggressions, it's because of the killing machine of the Zionist regime in Palestine. After occupying the land of the Palestinians, and they put all the systematic kind of killings. And up until now, we have witnessed many rounds of such atrocities throughout the history of this occupier regime. And especially in the recent years, they committed kinds of genocide and mass killing in Palestine and Gaza. And due to this situation, the International Criminal Court and also the International Court of Justice have issued a verdict to arrest the Netanyahu, the prime minister of the regime, for committing those war crimes and genocide. So the cause of Palestine and all the operations against the people of Palestine is the root cause of all these issues. And the Zionist regime, since its inception, its establishment by force and occupation, they have followed an expansionist foreign policy by invading other countries, by using force and killing, and they have been supported by all Western countries, and especially the United States, with equipping, with all the information and all the cooperations in that sense. And this time their calculation was that, okay, since the situation in Lebanon and Syria has been changed in one way or another, they thought that maybe the resistance front is in the weakest state and situation, and they can go and attack Iran and to bring into the knee the Iranian government and nation. But this was really a miscalculation. They didn't know that the